Hello, my name is Nate. Welcome to my Fluid Art channel. I'm painting today with my new friend Curtis.
Hello.
Say hi.
Hi, I'm Curtis.
Curtis is a musician, and he's also has some experience with fluid art. So we're going to play mad scientist today, and we're going to do a yeet pour. What kind of art do you like?
I like things that are really vivid and colorful. Like, so watercolor is not my thing, but I started paint pouring because of how chaotic and quick and just all the colors are vivid, and I love it.
Awesome, good. I will put his links to his Instagram page in the description box, and also people can listen to your music also, right?
Yeah, I make music as well. With my fiance, especially right now, is what we're working on. So that'll be in there.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, so I'll make sure those links are available for you too. So we've chosen some really fun, vibrant colors. So let me take you down to the canvas and I'll show you what those are, and then we'll get started painting. Okay, so these are some really fun colors. I was showing Curtis earlier about the ratios and pouring mediums and all of that kind of stuff. So we've gone through and made sure all of these paints are the same consistency, even though they're all kinds of different brands. This is a leftover paint that I had already available. This is 24 karat gold from TriArt with a little squirt of quinacridone nickel azo gold. And I hope you can see on the camera. Let me get a little closer so I can show you our consistency. The lighting, we're in Curtis's mom's kitchen, so the lighting is a little fun, but I do have a ring light here. So that's our consistency. It's a mound on a mound, and it disappears quite slowly when you drizzle it around. So this is kind of the perfect consistency, I think, for what we want to create today. So this is 24 karat gold with nickel azo gold, just to brighten the tone of it. Then we have Naphthol red medium from Amsterdam. We have primary yellow from Amsterdam. This is a local brand called Via Color, and this is just a plain blue color. This is Chromacryl acrylic essentials in white. I like to use this instead of titanium white because we might get some bolder cells using that color. This is also Chromacryl, but this is their black color. And then I have TriArt Extreme Sheen Amethyst as another metallic color in here. Curtis has been playing around with WD-40 and silicone to make cells, so I kind of wanted to show him that you can create cells without using silicone, because it does make it harder to add resin to and that kind of thing. So we're going to layer a cup each. I have this black also mixed up to use as a base coat. So after we layer our cups, I'm going to yeet towards him, and then he's going to yeet towards me, and then we're going to tilt it out. So that's kind of our process here. So these really fun, vibrant colors, we're going to layer in very specific ways. So we're going to start, we always want to remember that the first color that goes in the cup is the last color to come out. So when we're layering our cups, we keep that in mind. So the last color to come out, I think I'm going to start my cup with a little bit of the black in the bottom. Not a lot, but I like to use whatever the base coat color is. I like to use that in my cup because it kind of unifies the whole composition. So I'm going to start with the black, and then I'm going to put this amethyst directly on top of it. In order to get cells using these metallic paints, the best way to do it, a little drips off, it's not going to hurt anything because we're going to cover this in with paint anyway. The best way to make cells is to layer a metallic between, or sandwich between, non-metallics. So I've got the black as a non-metallic, I've added a metallic, now I'm going to put a color directly on top of that that is a non-metallic. And so hopefully though that metallic rises through.
Do you always pour it in the corners like that?
You can pour it directly in, but for this particular technique, I want the colors to stack, so I kind of pour down the side so that they stack on top of each other. But if I were to take the next color, let's say the blue, and I pour it from up high, it will pierce the layer and go through the other paints.
Oh, cool.
That's called a dirty cup, where stacking the colors is a layered cup. So I've got the red and the blue right on top of each other, so we might get a little more purple. On top of the blue, I'm going to add the gold. So non-metallic and then a metallic. And then on top of the gold, I'm going to add some white. Nice healthy layer of it, because that'll be a good contrast with our black base coat. And I haven't added any yellow, so I'm going to add the yellow next. Yellow and purple make an ugly, really terrible mud color, so I try not to layer the yellow and purple together. So choices here. If I add the blue on top of the yellow, yellow and blue make green, so I don't want that. But maybe a little more of this red on top. And we don't want to fill our cups completely, because we're already going to make a big mess. Okay, so now you can layer your cup however you like.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Well,
what would you like to start with?
If it comes out last, I want to go like, I think I want to go like this direction, like slowly go to the darker color.
Okay,
right?
sure.
So starting with white, I guess.
Sure.
And do I just like layer the bottom there? Or?
Yep, that's plenty.
Okay.
Let's try and pour from the other side so that the camera is going to catch the paint going into the cup, so our viewers see how much paint we're adding.
Okay, and then yellow.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Trudy, for letting us use your kitchen to do this. We've got the floor taped off, we've got the table taped off, and then we're going to fling paint.
And then the gold.
The gold on top of the yellow? Yeah, we got to keep the cats away from it. I've had my cat jump on top of a painting and then run all the way across our patio.
Yes.
What color do you want to put on top of the gold?
I guess red, isn't it?
Sure. That's good. Okay.
That's good. Okay.
Now let's do another. Well, no, you do another non-metallic color.
Oh, okay. So, blue.
Sure.
It'll like make that purple color that you.
It might, yeah. These paints are pretty thick, so they might not blend too much. But now put that purple on top of the blue.
Okay. Yeah.
And the only color you haven't used then is the black.
Perfect.
You're kind of going light to dark.
Yeah, it'll
I
come
like
out
it.
dark to
Yeah.
or yeah. Is that good?
Good.
All right.
You can probably add a little more paint. So if you wanted to add another color, what would you do?
Probably white.
Sure, you can add white on top of the black.
I like black and white together.
Yeah, totally. That strong contrast is always good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are we happy with our cups?
Right. Well, we'll find out.
That is exactly right. All right, move those out of the way, including our layered cups. And now we're going to pour a big puddle and tilt out our base coat. Okay, here's your cup.
Okay.
I will demonstrate the first one. So we're just going to, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to aim for going straight across the middle here.
Okay. Cool.
Now see how there's still a lot of paint in here? See that?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do it again, and then I'm going to do this. This is the chaos part that you like.
Yes. It's cool as hell already.
And it breaks up the solid blocks of colors that happen like that.
I can see it's forming cells right here.
Yeah, already forming cells. Just gonna splatter that all over the place. I love the splatters. It's my favorite part. Okay, and you see how it gets a big round part here and then it gets narrower here?
Mm-hmm.
So when you toss across this direction, you'll get a big, and it'll get narrower as it gets closer to you. Okay?
Okay.
Try not to hit me. That's the important thing.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Yeah.
I was standing here in front of it.
But also don't be afraid of it, because this is supposed to be freeing and fun.
Okay, here we go.
There you go. Keep going. Do it again. Nice. Do it again. Yep. Okay, now do the lines.
Oh, I hit you.
Yeah, and you hit yourself a lot more than you did me. Yep.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. Okay, now we have plenty of paint on here. I'm going to wash my hands off real quick.
Dang. So pretty.
This is going to be super cool when we tilt it out. I like it. Yeah, so do you see how right here, that is the amethyst popping up through the other layers of paint.
Cool.
See that coming up as cells. And as we tilt this out, yeah, and there's more coming up here. As we tilt this out, we'll get more of that.
Yeah, they'll like spread out.
Yeah. Let's wipe off the corner of your table there so we don't drip it everywhere and get it on your thing. And I see a little on the floor over here. I'll grab that too.
So you gotta get it kind of fast.
Just a little, yeah, just get it. If you get it fast, it's easy to clean up. Okay. So now we're gonna tilt this together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tilt towards this corner, but we're not going to go all the way off. We're going to bring it back to the center, and then we'll come out towards this corner, and we're going to kind of cover our entire canvas, and then we'll choose which parts we like best and which parts we can lose. That's how you control your composition.
Okay.
Okay? So first we're going to tilt towards that direction. So I'm going to lift up a little higher. And we don't want to tilt too fast, because then we'll really distort the lines. I think, actually, I have a little bit more black paint left, the base coat. I'm going to...
It's making like a face right here. That's,
Is it?
It always does, the little eyes.
Oh yeah. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this black, and we're going to pour it around as a flow extender. The hardest part to get is always the corners, so we're going to add a little extra here and here, because a dry canvas is a thirsty canvas, so it actually, when the paints move, they don't slide across, they roll from the top rolls under.
Yeah, I see.
So if you use a flow extender or a base coat, you lose less of the pretty stuff on top by using that. And I can spread that out a little bit here, just like this. So if you just wet your surface down, it doesn't have to be perfect, but the more you can spread out some paint and give you something to glide on, it slides around better instead of rolling over top of itself. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just as a general rule.
Yeah, I don't know if you're just going to coat it, but this makes sense just to... Flow extender is what you call it?
Yeah, flow extender. I know there's all kinds of jargon in fluid art.
What did you call it when you called it like a something cup when you pour it from really high?
Oh yeah, I call it a dirty cup, or dirty layer, because you're really blending the colors inside the cup rather than layering them on top of each other. It's always good to let your paint sit and settle for a little while too, because see that more cells have popped up since we've been doing it. Look how big those have gotten.
Yeah, this is pretty.
Yeah. Okay, we ready? We're going to go back again towards your left hand side.
Okay.
These colors are cool. Okay, see how the paint has stopped rolling over itself and it's just sliding on top of the black?
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal. And we're not going to go over, we're just going to get it to that edge, and then we're going to tilt back so that we get this weight of the paint back in the center. So you're going to tilt towards me.
Okay.
And towards this corner, kind of.
And you let it go real slow?
I go really slow, and you see how, so the place where the paint is moving the fastest is where the most paint is. We call it the weight of the paint. So it's right here right now. We want to get that right about here. And then we'll head towards that corner. See the weight of the paint is right about here, so that's good. So now we're going to head that direction. I'm going to lift my side up. You can let your right hand rest on the, or the push pin to rest on the table while I tilt. You might lose some of those purple, beautiful purple cells we like. Anything that's on the edges, you tend to lose. Here we go. Now we're going to come back this direction here.
This way?
Yeah, so I'll leave this here. You lift that corner. There you go. And we're going to bring that all the way down here so that this paint ends up down here. You can lift it a little bit higher. There we go. Just look and see, make sure we're still in camera. Ooh, that light is really glaring. Maybe if I move it. Oh, it's the window. That's right. Let's tilt it a little more.
You can turn off like this.
Oh, that's probably better. Let's see.
Or
Yeah, wet paint just glares. There's nothing you can do about it.
Does it look better though, or what?
It does better, yeah, I think. There we go, now the paint's moving, but it's not moving too fast. It's gonna roll over itself a little bit while it covers that dry area, and then it'll start sliding again. There we go. We'll bring that weight all the way down to this corner. This is some beautiful chaos.
Yeah, this is.
I love these lines and how they're stretching out. Very cool. Keep going. So, probably 90% of the fluid art techniques that involve tilting, you tilt towards the corners because they're the hardest place, the hardest part to cover. Fluids like to be like rounds, like you think of a drop of water is never square. So doing a rectangular canvas, now we're going to come to this direction, isn't what a fluid wants to do. So we tilt towards the corners first and spread it out. And you can tilt in different ways to move the paint however you want. See how the weight is here?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's moving the fastest. Now tilt straight up. There we go. And we're actually getting close. Let that go off a little bit there. Okay, now let's bring it back in. Bring the weight back to the center. Awesome. Not quite the center, but it's not at the edge. So now that we've spread this paint out a little bit, more bubbles have risen up, so that we use this opportunity to let the paints percolate, let those metallics pop up if they want to. And we pop the air bubbles while we procrastinate. This is looking super cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know.
Well, now, interesting is the word I use when I don't like it. Do you like it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean it's just interesting what happens. That's true though.
Trudy, what do you think? Are we liking it?
Whoa, that's super cool.
Yeah, I see another little one
Dang.
right here, I think. Go.
I wonder how
That's
this right here
beautiful.
happened. Just it's the solid.
Yeah, I know. It's the way it has. Okay, so what's our favorite part? You like all this chaos
like
down here,
this.
right?
This is great. The whole thing is cool.
The whole thing's cool. Okay,
I don't know.
so let's go. The weight of our paint is down here. Let's bring the composition off of the canvas on this corner. Let's cover this corner with this paint, and then we'll bring it back and we'll evaluate again. So lift this corner and tilt directly down. Like lift both sides, but then leave this corner down. There we go. I want this to come off of the canvas.
Yeah, it looks like mustard.
Yeah. Sometimes you can help it by just tapping it a little bit. There we go. Okay, that's good. Now we do a hard tilt back to bring it off of the edge so the paint doesn't continue flowing off, and then we choose our next direction. So Let's bring the weight of the paint back here to the center and then come this direction. We'll get rid of a bunch of this too.
Okay.
So you leave yours on down, there we go. And I will tilt this out a little bit. I use the push pins in the bottom as little handles.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's cool.
Okay, and we'll put mine down and you're gonna tilt this direction to take that off. We're gonna lose a little bit of this, that's okay. We don't lose all of that yellow because there's some pretty stuff in there, but some of it.
Yeah, it's like a mushroom or something. It looks like two dragons right here or something.
Oh yeah, cool. Keep going though. We want it to get right over the edge.
Okay.
We call that anchoring. We anchor it so that it stays in that place. Keep going. Cover that corner. That's good. Bring it back I'm gonna bring it back just a little bit. There's still dry canvas on this side, so we're gonna bring the weight of our paint over here and then we're gonna tilt over here. You do the same thing I do. As you're looking at this very abstract thing, you look for things in it.
Yeah, like this one's like,
yeah.
If you look at it from my side.
Now we're gonna bring the weight of our paint over a little bit, away from the side and the corner, and then we're gonna come straight down. Yep, because what we want to take off is this side right here. See how the weight of the paint is now coming here?
Mm-hmm.
Where the weight of the paint is how you control the composition when you're tilting. It's just gonna flow over. It's almost there. Keep
Instead of a
going.
paintbrush, we use gravity.
Yes, exactly. There we go. Okay, now tilt back. This way. If there's still some little dry things, dry spots, you can use your finger to kind of dab it. Just use the paint directly underneath the canvas on that spot and it usually matches. But you want to dab it, you don't want to rub it.
Okay.
Because then you end up with a muddy, gross color. Okay, so we've got both of these sides, these corners and this side done. So we're gonna bring the weight of our paint back. I'm going to come over this way here so the camera can see us maybe. Go look at the camera and see if we're, how we're doing. Is there a lot of glare?
Not too much. Not too much.
What I'm doing here is I'm trying to save those cool purple cells there that came up. And now that the weight of the paint is there, I'm gonna go down to that corner and I'm gonna try and save all of this cool stuff that's happening over there. I like those thin lines.
Yeah. This is cool, right? It's
That
like
is cool.
the purple inside the yellow there.
There we go. I'm gonna anchor that just a little more. There we go. And then we do a hard tilt the other direction. Sorry, I just kind of took over.
No, good. Because I'm learning a ton as well.
So we're gonna come back down. I love that white right in the center. Is very cool.
Yeah.
I see a lump. We're gonna get it out as soon as we see it, so we don't mess it later. It's right there. Okay, we still have plenty of paint on the canvas. Actually, too much paint on the canvas. So we have to choose something to lose. How do you feel about coming off of this corner and losing all of that?
Like this?
Yeah. I do need, and we have dry canvas on this side, so I need to bring this down a little bit this way. I'll do that now. Every time you tilt towards a side or a corner, I watch where the weight of the paint is, but I also watch how the lines are stretching out up here. Because usually the magic happens in the stretching. So
Yeah.
it's cool to stretch those lines out a lot, because then you really see the cool details and the ways that the paints are interacting together.
Yeah, every time you do it, it looks cooler.
Mm-hmm. that. Bringing everything down.
This is cool.
That is cool. Okay. So there we go.
This
Let's check all
this
of
looks
our
like
stuff.
now it looks like a sun with like shooting like a
Oh yeah, like a solar flare.
yeah. That's what that looks like.
It is very galactic, probably because we used the black. I'm gonna rinse my hands real quick.
Come look at it now before it does.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
That's cool, eh?
Yes.
Fast. I jerked right on my toe and then started walking all over the place with it.
So I just took my shoes off because I figured
Yeah.
we were gonna get yeet on there.
Yeah. I know. My pretty shoes.
That's a beautiful thing.
It's cool, eh?
God, yeah.
I like it.
Here's a dog, greyhound.
What? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a couple of things we can do here. First thing we're going to do. Mom, you like it?
I love it. It's beautiful.
So we're going to pop some of these air bubbles while we evaluate. So I usually use, if there's anything I want to adjust from this point on, you can roll a marble through it, you can do all kinds of things to create additional lines. But I usually use either the skinny end or the blunt end of a skewer. This is a smack stick I got from Sarah Mac. And you can kind of draw little patterns in or draw little lines. So let me just show you, like if I grab some paint right here, I can continue that line so that it comes right off of the canvas, like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's subtle, but it instead of a little round shape there, it kind of continues with the flow of the rest of the paint. So if there's any place else, I look for areas like that to increase the motion. So see this little loop here and this little loop here? I'm going to start in this spot here, and I'm going to go right through them and pull them off, like that. Anything you would like to adjust?
I don't know. Let's see.
How do you feel about this big purple section here? It actually, usually I don't like big blocks of color, but it actually doesn't bother me. There's some cells coming up through it. There's some really thin lines going through it.
It seems like there's something cool.
Is there a lump there?
I just wanted to. Yeah, that's cool. I don't know. It's hard to. I don't want to like do something and then.
It's your painting, though. It's fine. We're experimenting here. Try to do if you put your if you put it down, try not to come out and back in again, because then you create little
Yeah, I see that.
inconsistencies. Whereas where's the one that I did here? See how it's one stroke all the way out?
Mm-hmm.
If I come this direction, I can bring this one back this direction. Come all the way through it. You have to be fearless.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But see how that one line just kind of unified everything there?
Mm-hmm.
So you look for opportunities like that. Like you could take, see that little point that comes out right there? You could bring that out also. Or even this one here. But you don't have to touch the canvas. You're just barely touching the paint and then pulling it. There you go. Well, we don't want to make that look more like a penis, so maybe we want to bring that out this direction. There you go. There you go. Cool. I like it. I'm gonna play with that a little bit too. Now that I said that, I never look like anything that looks like a man part.
It's funny. Yeah, kind of did.
Yeah. It's funny how with fluid art, you always end up with either a man part or a female part.
Yes,
I've had so many paintings where Ben says, "Why does it look like a vagina?" Or "Why did you paint a vagina?"
Yeah, why did you paint it with
Yeah. I think this is really cool. We could stop here.
Absolutely. Sometimes I like, I'm like, oh man, I liked it before I did, before I did it again. So
Yeah.
what's the next step?
If you like this, then we're done.
Would there be any way to like make this just a little wider?
What do you mean? What do you want to do?
This blue part just.
It's too dark, or you want to make it wider?
It's cool the way it is. It's like right here. It's like
Yeah.
could.
So you want to stretch that section out?
Yeah, just this like blue.
Okay. Awesome. Great idea. So in order to stretch this out, that means we have to lose something in one of these two directions. So.
Oh no, then it's yeah, because I really like this. It looks like.
Yeah. I mean, we could lose some of this yellow if you wanted to. But I like the balance because there's a lot of it here and there's a lot of it here.
I really like this yellow thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think. Do you ever use an blow dryers ever?
Yes, absolutely.
Just
It's
like
hard to move thick paint though. You have to thin it down a bit in order to use
I was thinking
a
like
hairdryer.
there needs to be like skinnier ones, or instead of just if there's like a straw. I've used like a straw.
Oh yeah, I didn't bring one with me, but you could also take what's in here and splatter it across the top if you wanted to.
I think it's. I don't know. I like it the way it is. What
Okay.
do you think?
Good. We're gonna call it done then.
Whoa.
Thank you, Curtis, and thank you, Trudy, for introducing us.
Yeah.
They're all taking pictures now. All right, we're going to sign off for now. Thank you very much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. And of course, mix up some paint and be fearless.
Yes. And chaotic.
Perfect. Great video, guys.
It's just
Wow, look at this on camera.
stunning.